Brothers and sisters who gathered here, I thank you all for the happy presence you have created here. And first of all, I thank my hostess who has created such a sweet opportunity and whose affection and hospitality we are enjoying year after year with more and more affection. This evening, I am asked to speak about the way to Samadhi. Samadhi is rightly understood as the attainment in English. Attainment, that is, in the yogic path, the attainment of what one should attain is called Samadhi. So, we should presuppose an explanation of the yoga in short. Yoga as a science and not as something popular. And the real practice of yoga as a science includes 8 steps as is instructed by Patanjali and the Bhagavad Gita. Patanjali gave us in the form of practical instructions so that we may be able to follow it impersonally and have sure and safe results. And the Bhagavad Gita also gives the same thing and something else. That is the purpose and the goal of yoga practice. That is what we call the yoga way of living. That is applying our yoga life to our daily incidents and living a yoga life in the so-called mundane world. The spiritual and the mundane are terms that exist in our mind. They do not exist in the creation. Creation belongs to nature and it is always the same. It has the same law of evolution, the same law of descent of consciousness into matter, and the ascent of the material atoms into the consciousness. The two working as the two arcs. The first working as the descending arc, starting from what we call the background consciousness, the consciousness of the space unbound, and gradually coming down into the form of solar systems and the planets in each solar system, the various intelligences that work out the solar system called the devas in the scriptures, and various forces and energies that work out the solar system until the origin of matter is there and until the matter takes what we call the solid material state, which is filled with millions and millions of atoms. This is called the arc of descent, and then each atom begins its own journey upwards once again, having a series of awakenings. The first awakening being what we call the nuclear consciousness, where the atom knows its atomic number and atomic behavior and knows its identity as a separate substance. It passes through the various stages of what we call the elements of matter, and then it has the second awakening of consciousness, which is more incandescent than the first awakening, which we named the nuclear awakening. So, the second awakening is what we call the biological awakening, and the first of the biological awakening is what we call the plant consciousness. Then it is no more called the atom, it is called the living being or the